Hey everyone, right, back again with another video. So Jay from Just Technics, this time, very popular product that's always recommended by me to my customers, MasterSounds boxes. Now these are a must-have, guys, if you are even thinking about sending your turntables in for a service or anywhere around the world. To be honest, they are the most sturdiest thing you're going to get to spending out hundreds of pounds on, top of the range flight cases. So if you are wanting to, even if you're selling a set of Technics, if you're going to be sending these to a customer or sending these to a seller or to a buyer or whatever you're doing, these are the only cardboard boxes, if you're going to buy something that's pre-made, that I would trust. They are absolutely superb. Now I can imagine it's a bit of a boring video for those of you going, it's a cardboard box, but this is to help you out, okay? Because I recommend these all the time. A lot of my customers love using these. I have return customers that have these boxes. One in particular has sent his decks to me 5 times in these with not a mark on these boxes at all. So this customer here, this is Terry's turntables. This is one of 2. Well, the first one's already boxed up, but I thought I'd show you how things obviously go together and the quality of the actual packaging itself. So we'll start with the box, double walled. Okay, this is a lovely, exciting video for you guys, isn't it? Eh? So double walled box, super tough. You can see it doesn't just fold like a lot of boxes do. Really tough, can take a hell of a lot of oomph, and that is exactly what we want. Very rugged, super tough box. Okay, by MasterSounds. Ryan's the top guy. Out to Ryan if you're watching, my friend Ryan Shaw, absolute legend. Right, you've got 2 poly innards. So these are basically foam, so poly innards that are strategically cut out for use on a Technics turntable. Now I'm sure you can use these on other turntables too, but they are designed for use for 1200 and 1210s basically. So these are the boxes that you want. F is for front. So common sense, again, front and rear. They've got separate cutouts for things like the pop-up lamp, for an example. Now you probably can't see this from the front here. Here you can. It's a cutout specifically for the pop-up, so you're not going to have anything pushed into foam that's not needed. You've then got, if you move around to the sides here, now ignore what I've done with the dust cover. I mean, this is an old dust cover. It's covered in scuffs and scratches, not in the best condition, so that hasn't been wrapped, but everything else has been. So the decks have been polybagged. I do this with every turntable that gets sent in and out. Tied up with elastic bands, that way it's not going to be flinging out in and out of the rest, just to be on the safe side. These have got new arm assemblies, so these are extremely tight on there. They're not going to be going anywhere. And if it wasn't for the fact that the customer was actually picking these turntables up, these would be taken off, individually bubble wrapped, and then popped down the side of one of these recesses here in a big bit of bubble wrap, so it's not going to move around. So I wouldn't recommend sending them to anybody with them still attached, but as these are being picked up and these are new tight arm assemblies, we're fine. So you've got separate cutouts here, if you look carefully, on the sides of the actual foam cutout. One for the platter, one for the turntable itself, one for the dust cover. So if you look from the front, everything is stepped individually, so it stops anything from hitting each other. The platter won't move around when it's all tight in the box. Dust cover's definitely not going anywhere, and the plinth section is extremely tight in the box too. Go to the rear of the box here. So ignore what I've done with the cables for the time being. They've been banded. What I tend to do with these is 2 ways of doing this. If I've got things going back to the customer, like old pitch controls, old audio cables, etc., I usually bubble wrap them and either stick them down the recesses down the sides of the boxes or in the middle. Now these cables, depending on how I route these, can either go in the middle or they can go up the sides. There's plenty of room to do this if you imagine you're bubble wrapping things and securing them in place. So these will go in the middle because the other box has already got his pitch controls already in there with his old original cables. But yeah, absolute superb quality, guys. Very, very easy to do. Takes a lot of welly. Very well made. If your decks get damaged in these boxes, then it's 100% the courier's fault. Either that or user error for not putting them in properly. That is the only 2 reasons as to why you would be getting a customer or getting somebody who just sold these 2 on eBay going, oh, my decks have arrived damaged. Insurance claim, guys, and big insurance. So everything you send must be insured. Just going to tell you that now. Whether you're selling these to privately or sending them in for a service, you need to make sure you have insurance. Otherwise, you're going to be in for a world of pain if they are not securely packaged up. So everything I have collected and delivered is obviously going to be with APC. It's all with a grand's worth of insurance, so we've got everything fully covered. And unfortunately, actually, for my customer, when he sent these originally, they did get damaged on the way back. Weren't packaged very well. So Yeah, he had to go through the insurance, but that's a very long story. But either way, guys, MasterSounds boxes, highly recommended. They're about 30 quid each. So everyone's going to be sitting there going, well, it's £30 for a box, Jay. But yeah, but look what you get. Everything's custom made. It's made purposely to fit a Technics turntable. This is what you want. If they're your babies and you don't want to go down the rigmarole of buying double wall boxes, loads of bubble wrap and, you know, going overboard. Sometimes being too cautious with these when you box these up is actually a bad thing. If you get a box and you tightly package everything up so tight that things don't want to move, there's every risk that if you do hit this on top of a courier throws the box around, if this is too tight, things underneath on top of the arm to try and secure it, there's every chance that if anything gets thrown around, the arm could snap. The actual arm assembly, the clip itself for the tone arm can snap. If they do come loose, you've got to be very, very careful. If that comes loose, it will fall over the deck. The arm will be moving around. Your bearings probably get damaged. Like I said before, if the actual adapter on the rear, the weight, the adapter on the rear as well. It's all different things you need to be very careful of when packaging these decks up. So most important thing, as you can see that I've done there, is obviously tie down that arm. Now you can use felt with cable ties if they're in lovely condition. You can use rubber bands, even sandwich bag ties, anything that's going to secure that arm down. But if it's going to be coarse, then obviously make sure you've got some fabric or something underneath. Rubber bands are okay because I've used these for years. And in fact, from memory serves me correctly, because the last few of these I've been getting through with these particular boxes, they actually includes like twisty bag ties. They're rubberized ties that go over the arms, basically elastic bands. Fabric elastic bands that to secure your arm down. Highly recommend using them. I've sent them back to customers with them on and they've been superb. But yeah, these are the MasterSounds boxes, guys. Again, highly recommended. I use these all the time. I've got a box of the, I've actually got a pair of boxes too, so just in case. But if you want to shell out a couple of £100 on flight cases just to send your turntables to someone to have the work completed, then that's entirely up to you, but you do not need to do that. For the sake of 60 odd quid. Couple of nice boxes. You could even flat pack them and keep them to one side, I suppose, and put the foam and stack them on top of each other, or keep them as they are, stick them out the way, stick them in your loft, you know, cover and wrap them up and just be grateful that you've got them, because you never know when you're going to need them. If you ever move house and you've got some nice boxes for them, it's one option for it. And like I say, if you ever sell them, you've got some nice boxes that also improves your value a bit, because you can say, look, I can send them to you can charge them for courier and put the price of the boxes on top. It's a win-win. Think logically, guys. Don't always think of the negative. 60 quid, 60 quid. Better than spending £200 for some flight cases. That's real talk, no bull. And that's what we all want. And there we go, guys. That's my take on the MasterSounds boxes. Massive, massive shouts going out to Ryan Shaw as always. He is an absolute legend and the brand itself is superb. And these boxes will last you a very, very, very long time, anyone that buys them. All right, so any questions, comments? If you use MasterSounds boxes, put a comment below. Let everybody know your opinions and thoughts on these. Like I say, I give these a solid 10 out of 10. I have done for years. And I'm sure anyone else that uses them would do exactly the same. But yeah, comment below, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers, guys.